Y'all, I don't know what Porsha was thinking trying to serve us this BS on a platter, because that's what it is. The longer we watch Porsha's lies, it's just more apparent the type of character that Porsha has. And she's a person who's out for self, doesn't like to be corrected. If other people become collateral damage and they recognize that and look for her to, take responsibility for them becoming collateral damage to her decisions, she all of a sudden is deaf, dumb, and blind. And she's a person who likes to play on people's intelligence, and I don't like that shit. Of all things, that's one of the things that annoys me most. Like, these type of people, the people who like to play on your intelligence. And Porsha, you really try to tap dance on people's heads and think the viewers are stupid, and you're mad that we are coming up with the conclusions that we are coming up with, especially after Denis really is giving us like more of the full story of like when y'all broke up, how fast it was. Like, you look crazy, and you really did yourself a disservice jumping onto your own show, and this shit clearly is backfiring. But guess what? That's karma, bitch. She gonna come around, okay? So yeah, since we gonna get into Porsha's show, let's go ahead and get into this episode. I know I'm behind, but I'm gonna try to catch up with you guys and try to get everything figured out as far as reviews go. So let's go ahead and get into Porsha's family show. All right. So we open up with everybody still yelling over that goddamn robe, and Lauren had enough. She's like, enough with the robe, enough with the robe. Shut up about the robe. It's not about the robe. Nobody say robe again. And that's true. It wasn't about the goddamn robe. The robe was just symbolism, okay? Really, it was the fact that Porsha was mad that Denis got something from her that she clearly was being petty and holding on to. And she needs a reason to blame him for messing up something. Like, nothing is ever Porsha's fault. It's all Denis, okay? It's all Denis. So Polo White Lady, Polo Tink Tink, even Aunt Liz was like, girl, I don't know if Lauren told her, but this is black folk problems. Like, you might not have been ready for this, debacle. You used to, rich white people problems. Like, I don't think she quite took a class for how to handle some niggas, okay? But nonetheless, they all end up agreeing, to use their throat chakras, and whoever is holding the little steel, the steel drum, is the only person who can talk. So Porsha goes first with the, I just want to apologize. I did, change the energy. It's important for me and my family to get together and really bond and mesh and just really, do this for Pilar. And I just really want. I'm sorry, y'all gotta stop. I'm sitting there doing by the TV and I was just very confused. Porsha definitely was just feeding some bull to everybody. I just want my family to heal, and I really want everybody to, be able to come together for Pilar. This is not how this is supposed to be going. I understand that I'm, the head of this, and so I just really want to change that. So, after she ends up going, we have Aunt Darlene go. I think it's Aunt Darla or Aunt Darlene. Nonetheless, Aunt Darlene takes everybody to the goddamn Twilight Zone over her motherfucking toes. Her toes, y'all. Literally, her feet. She starts with the, I've just been growing, and, months ago, I finally realized, I finally found happiness. And you guys, I finally, love myself and love my feet. Everybody was like, excuse me, come again? Like, you heard feet, right? You heard feet too? Like, I'm not dumb. Like, I'm not deaf. Like, you heard feet too, right? Oh, okay. She said feet. Okay. Yeah, I just, you know, used to not even love my feet. You know, people used to call me Fred Flintstone. You know, she was Fred Flintstone to Incredible Hulk to goddamn Dragon Tail's feet, whatever it was. She's like, I just used to look at pictures of everybody's feet and be so jealous of how flat they laid. And I just was, you know, so ashamed. And I'm just so proud to say that I'm no longer there. And everybody was like, just looking like, what the did she drink? And like, did she drink the tea or something? Is she on some of that ayahuasca? You know that, you know, everybody talking about the ayahuasca, you have you know, reveling in some new shit, okay? But she go off about her feet, but then finally ends with, you know, and last but not least, I just really want to fix my relationship with Storm. You know, we're not close, and my daughter, I really want to fix things with her. And Storm is kind of looking like, right, like, I know you my mama and all. And Storm admits to not really being emotionally available. She don't cry. She don't do none of that shit. And, you know, that's cool. That's okay. Everybody else was looking at Storm like, girl, like, go hug your mama. She's like, no, we can do that later. Like, that's okay. Like, we ain't got to do that shit right now. Everybody decides, like, let's take this stick from Darlene because she gonna drag us out and she gonna take us from Twilight Zone to goddamn Black Hole. So after Darlene, who goes? I think Aunt Liz basically was like, look, I don't know none of y'all niggas. Like, I came here, I thought we supposed to be here for family, fixing our family. I don't know you. I don't know you. I mean, I know Lundy. I love Lundy. You know, I'm trying to get to know Lauren. I guess, you know, they're obviously this family, but you still, like, there are families that you have a genuine, like, consistent relationship with. And I'm just going to assume that Aunt Liz and Lauren just don't have that yet. But she was like, if we gonna be here to fix the family, I didn't know which, you know, what family, because I'm a little lost. And so after Liz goes, Storm goes, and Storm basically was on some passive aggressive shit, just talking about, you know, there are people who have issues with me, and you know, clearly some things need to be addressed. And it was kind of like, girl, you talking about everybody else, not you. You know, you talking about the wrong thing. And so Dennis was like, well, girl, like, the first thing you should have been talking about was your mama. You just watched your mama cry her heart out. I don't need to worry about that, Dennis. I'm the one with the talking stick, so you need to shut up. You know, she immediately was popping off at the handle. Storm is one of those girls that you try to let slide, but that third time, bitch, we boxing. Like, Storm is definitely one of those girls, if you let go, she'll go, and she'll cross that line and feel like it's okay because you didn't check her from the get-go. But everyone's like, Dennis, you ain't got the talking stick. You know, wait, you ain't got the talking stick. So she is basically saying like, oh, you know, whatever, people have issues with me, you know, I have some things I need to talk about with some people who I might not, you know, be like really vibing with right now or something like that. And then we end with Dennis. He was like, you know what, basically, I'm just here to support you guys. You know, we have a duty to Pilar, and that's why I'm here to try to build this co-parenting relationship with Simon. I know you and Porsha want to be happy, so I just want to be there for you guys, you know, because at the end of the day, like, we're going to be the two, you know, father figures in Pilar's life. And he's like, you know, but also too, you know, we also got to start with, you know, Porsha, I'm not trying to put no blame on you, but, you know, you are the head of the family. So, you know, I mean, which is low-key true. Like, if you were going to talk about everybody needs to do healing, bitch, I kind of got to start with you. It really do. And Porsha, I know you want to try to convince everybody that you were on this new high, you know, high vibration. You worked through all your shit because you wrote this goddamn book, but I don't buy now bit of it. I don't. You have not had the true awakening, or true, like, you know, just surgical, what's the regurgitation, just like really breaking down your issues, because they do, you can tell Porsha got a lot of daddy issues. She got a lot of men issues. She got a lot of self-worth issues. Cause girl, how the hell you over here with this goddamn turtle time, like, of a man? Both these niggas look like turtles, okay? Simon and Dennis. But you know, Dennis kind of put that on Porsha, like, you the head of the household. You know, so we just kind of got to start with accountability. Here goes Storm out of nowhere. Well, Dennis, accountability is supposed to start with you. You ain't supposed to be talking about nobody else. It start with you. And so now these two start getting into it. Everybody's like, no, like, they say, you ain't got the talking stick. And Lauren's like, Dennis, no, you can't do that. You're supposed to be talking about yourself. Like, you're not supposed to be talking negative. He was like, what? She need to be quiet. You know, she ain't Porsha. She ain't Porsha. And he keeps saying that. You know, does Storm definitely want to live that life that Porsha has? Absolutely. And Porsha keeps her around because she's always going to be the hype man. She's always going to be the person to turn up on Porsha's behalf. And she's definitely going to be the person who follows her lead. Like, that's just what it is going to be. And that's why she keeps her around. They do it to each other. So we hear in the confessional, they're talking. And in the confessional, you know, Storm is like, you know, I can't stand it. It's here he had got the nerve to talk about accountability. You know, he ain't never owned up for shit that he's done before. I can't stand him. And Dennis, of course, talking about Storm, you know, she just irresponsible. You know, she's, you know, you can't depend on her for nothing. That's why she's been fired multiple times. That's why I had to fire her ass, let her go. And so it's kind of like, why is there so much hate and tension between you two? Like, that's why everybody's like, y'all definitely fucked. Like, y'all had to have fucked, because why is it this much tension? Do you guys think that, you know, the D went in the V? Do you guys think the P went in the V? If it didn't go in the V, that shit definitely went in the mouth, though. Okay, Storm was using them throat chakras for something else. Clearly, she learned it from Porsha, because Porsha was using her throat chakras to clearly clamp down Simon out of a whole marriage, god dang it. But I don't know. I don't know if they fucked. There definitely was some flirting, just because we know who Dennis is. There definitely was some flirtation, because why do you keep bringing the girl back who you say is all of these bad, you know, work ethic qualities? So Dennis gets up. He's like, you know what, man? I ain't even got to freaking be here. Like, I'm out. So as he's leaving, Storm says something slick like, yeah, go ahead, go on and leave. He's like, man, shut the fuck up. And everybody was like, whoa, like, don't talk to her like that. And Porsha was like, yeah, Dennis, you need to leave. Like, that's why you always starting shit. Like, see, we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for Dennis. He wants to take the attention. Go ahead and have his grand. He wants to have his grand exit. He want to have his grand exit. Says you, girl, we've seen plenty of exits from you. So here comes Mama Gina. You know, she left the table early because she smells shellfish. Okay, she didn't want to be around the seafood because she got allergies allegedly. But she sure came around back to try to defend her little boo-boo. Dennis, well, no, let's clarify some things. I got some things to say. And Dennis was like, no, Mama, like, we're not doing this. Let's go, Mama, let's go. He said, let's go. And he grabbed her. He's like, no, go away. We're not doing this tonight. So basically, another night was a goddamn bust. So everybody's going up to their room, and Lundy, Lauren, and the other girl, I don't know what her name is. Is that the other Lauren that has like the braids? That's the assistant. But they're like, Dennis basically wants to switch rooms. And Lauren's feeling some type of way because she's like, why is he switching rooms? Like, I gave the room assignments. Like, what the fuck? And Lundy knows why, because Dennis got that work on his way. All he keeps saying is, wear something sexy. You bring something sexy. You bring something sexy. Who can lay beside Dennis and his 20-month pregnant looking ass? Like, this nigga got a beer belly if I ever seen one. Him and Simon. I don't understand. Like, he all belly. But you know, he ends up switching rooms, and of course everybody's like, how the fuck we gonna tell Porsha that he bringing a woman? We're gonna see at the end of the episode. So Lauren basically tells Dennis, be ready for meditation in the morning. He was like, yeah, I think not. So Porsha, she's in her room with Simon, and they just laughing about how the night went. She's like, oh my God. Someone's like, yeah, I pretty much predicted that's how that was gonna go. How else is it gonna go? Like, Dennis said it perfectly. Porsha's family always want to do some healing but never heal. Like, y'all, they never heal. And these are all a group of women who clearly are holding just a lot of deeper stuff. Particularly for me, I definitely want to know the story deeper of Darlene and Storm, because the fact that you were focused on how pretty your feet were, like, there's something else. Like, the feet to me were a symbolism of like how you thought yourself was pretty. Like, you can tell Darlene is a woman who sometimes, I hate to say this, like, but there are just some women who wear in their aura and their energy of like, I feel valued when I'm with a man. I feel valued, you know, when I'm in a relationship, regardless of how bad it is. I want to always make sure I look good, you know, to attract this person. I feel my most attractive when other people, you know, validate it. I don't know why the hell your feet being pretty was such a huge, iota for you. And I feel like it's because, like, Darlene got some stories that need to happen. She's on another cloud. She's in another dimension. And I think that's why Storm also distances herself, because she's been dealing with this since clearly birth. And I could only imagine growing up in a household like that. But Simon ends up telling Porsha, like, look, I need to, set time aside with Denis, and we're going to talk about, how we're going to handle this like men. So the next morning, Lauren, Denis, Lundy, and it was somebody else. They ended up doing like the little morning meditation or whatever. It was a nice little moment. Denis was like, damn, I wish Mama Gina was here. She definitely could have used, this cleaning of the aura, just all the chakras, getting in line. Of course, Porsha wasn't there, and Lauren feels some type of way, because it's like, bitch, how you talking about you want to heal? The family want to heal, and you ain't even, like, you the leader, you ain't even doing the healing your goddamn self. Like, make it make sense, Porsha. So we see Denis telling, everybody else, like, he's going to have a conversation with Simon. So they end up having breakfast. And they basically they had a grown man conversation. Simon's like, look, because he told Porsha this, like, we need to start with Mama Gina, staying out of people's motherfucking business. He lets Denis know, it's kind of hard to, come to solutions when, Mama Gina's constantly, coming with input. And he's like, man, I get it, she my mama, so she feel like she got to say something. I had to tell her, like, look, I'm a grown ass man, like, I can handle this shit. And he look at Simon and was like, look, bro, you're going to be in Porsha's life, Pilar's life. We just gonna have to make sure this go good going forward. But, I got to tell you something. I need you to, pass the news on to Porsha for me. I'm bringing a date. I got a woman coming. You think you can tell her for me? Why would you tell Simon to tell Porsha? Clearly, Simon didn't tell Porsha at that, because at the end of the episode, she was only made aware once Lauren told her. That would have been an awkward. I don't think Simon told her, simply because too, like, why is your now fiance telling you about your ex fiance? I don't think he wanted that interaction, because first, why would you want to see what her reaction was to him bringing a date? Like, that would make me feel some type of way. And then he's like, also too, can you make sure I get my shit back? And Denis was like, and Simon was like, yeah. He said, I'm one person that, once I'm over, I got a moving company. They pack that shit up and it's out. Okay. And Denis kind of laughed, because he's like, you've been married 5 times, bro. Like, he got this shit down to a system. Like, one bitch out, the next bitch in. Like, that's sad, bro. You've been married 4 times. You talking about you done all this therapy and work and stuff like that, but you've been married 4 times? Ain't nobody buying it, Simon. Ain't nobody buying this shit with Porsha either. So I guess you two gonna be, both y'all just boo-boo the fool up in the goddamn silly ass treetops. So after that, we have what else happens? Everybody get ready for the cenote or something like that. Everybody gets on the bus. They're on their way. The work she's in, but she's not joining in this situation. Denis was like, I can't do that. Like, this was a family moment, and it definitely would have been ruined had I brought, the girl on the trip. So they end up going to this little Mayan situation where it used to be a sacrificial waterfall or some type of shit like that. So when the dude was kind of giving the information, he's like, yeah, there might be an arm, a head, maybe a couple of legs. Nigga, you can't tell no black folks some shit like that. Don't try to mess with us about no creatures, no ghosts, no paranormal spirits, no demonic possessions, no body parts. Like, bruh, never again. I don't mess with that. How the hell am I supposed to go in and get cleansed in some water that got some dead body parts and dead people in there, and now I'm about to go home with all they, energies, and take all that juju back to the house across the country with me? Hell no, I don't think so. But Lauren tries to do another meditation, and the water is basically going to symbolize washing all of it away. So they have a new little talking stick with a feather on it, and everybody takes their turn in trying to get across what they want to get rid of. Londi says she wants to get rid of whatever anger that she has towards, anybody, aka Storm, and just figure out a way to be happy. Aunt Liz, she wants to get rid of those civil rights. I was going to say Civil War. Those civil rights, you know, pictures and images in her. I couldn't imagine like growing up in that time. You know, you're always gonna be able to see and just imagine like people getting hosed down, getting attacked by dogs, getting shot, like getting arrested. Like those memories, I'm sure, are haunting. You know, and they're hard to deal with. And I really felt for her in that moment. Like she was crying. You can definitely tell like those are things that, you know, definitely are kind of like PTSD moments for her, but she does do that work, and you know, that's super empowering. So she was kind of tearing up. So was Porsha. Who else went? Who went after that? I don't really know the order. Storm, she went basically was like, you know, I just want to let go of any anger that I have. I want to allow myself to open up and cultivate, you know, better relationships. So one of those relationships that should be cultivated is the one with your mama, because when her mama goes, she was just simply talking about, you know, I just really want to fix these things with my daughter because I wasn't in her life because of business and things, and I just really feel bad about that. Like, she just isn't open to me emotionally. Like, we don't even hug. Like, I've never even gotten a real hug from my daughter. And Storm was like, I don't hug people. She's like, I'm not emotional like that. She's like, I get it. I'm not too. So she's like, I just want a hug. And everybody's like, girl, go hug your mama. Can I just have a hug? And girl, Storm, she was like, she got up, man. The minute her arm went like this, ah, bitch, I hollered. She caught the full-on Holy Ghost. Thank you, Jesus. Like, she was going. That took me out. And I don't think she was playing, y'all. I think Auntie Darlene got a lot of that was pent up about maybe some guilt. And, you know, sometimes reactions, like when you have so much shit pent up, like I know to a lot of people, everybody was like, no, Auntie Darlene, like you tripping. I just really feel like she yearns for her daughter's connection and does feel really guilty about it. And Storm does punish her daughter. It's obvious. I mean, to punish her mother, she does. And she says she was busy with work and stuff. I'm going to consider and stuff men. I guarantee that's going to come up if we were to get a moment where Darlene and Storm, I really want to know, digging deeper with that relationship. I feel like Auntie Darlene went around the world, looking for men after building this, you know, life. And she was using money, which is why Storm is spoiled. She was using gifts, and she never really punished her daughter or, you know, maybe disciplined her daughter because she felt guilty for not being there. But the way she fell out, y'all, man, took me out. Everybody was like, just let it out, baby. Just let it out. Gina, she kind of was like, you know what? I just really want to, you know, just apologize, you know, to people that I may have hurt, you know, and of course, I hate when people do this, like, to whoever. Girl, say the goddamn name. You talking about Porsha. I need to do better with opening up. Yeah, you do. So Porsha, Denis actually goes, he basically just says how proud he is of his mama Gina. He's like, you know, it was rough doing that, and you know, he's really proud of her. Porsha, she goes and she's like, you know what, I want to do better with letting things go and moving on. But you know, as far as Mama Gina goes, I know we have our issue, we had our lunch, I'm just not ready for that. You know, I really feel like we need to have a separate conversation. Bitch, that was kind of the time to have the conversation, was it not? Am I tripping? Like, wasn't that not the moment for healing right there? Like, y'all were all pretty kind of like in the zone, and that was the most calm the energy was gonna be. And that was when you had Miss Gina at the most necessarily vulnerable. So that honestly might have been the best chance for you to have the conversation. But it's really ironic how you ready for the apology for Mama Gina, but when Aunt Liz was like, you know what, Lauren, this healing is about you too. I noticed when Porsha was talking, your toes curled. And so Lauren was like, you know what, Porsha, I feel like maybe I do have some unresolved resentment towards you and some anger, and I really want to let that go. you know, feeling unappreciated. And at that moment, I was like, oh, Porsha, you a bitch. Like, you really are a person who got used to being Porsha. And so in her everyday life in general, she's sorry y'all, she's used to everybody accommodating her as Porsha, going above and beyond, you know, for Porsha, and not really having to give anything in return. So she translates that to her relationship with her sister, and it's like, bitch, you gotta remember, you're not Porsha to her, you're just her sister. So for you to expect her working day and night on your shit, being your assistant, also running the hair company, and you probably honestly weren't giving her that much in return because you expected her to do it out of it being your sister. And for you to, she was just mad at life. There was a lot of things going wrong in her life, and she's just using me. You know, she needed to put me down to make herself feel up, then, you know, whatever. And it was kind of like, your sister could have been having, you know, been in a bad place in life, and you probably were a contributing factor. Like, you contributed to that bad, you know, moment in life. She's working for a bitch of a sister who she's constantly having to defend where her mess pops up, but yet she's still working for her and is showing absolutely no motherfucking appreciation. Yeah. So they end up cleansing, and it's time for dinner. Everybody comes up, and Dennis is missing. Everybody was like, wait a minute, where's Dennis? There's 2 chairs. Lauren pulls Porsha to the side and lets her know, look, you know, okay, Dennis I brought a date, and, you know, he's gone, and I just wanted to let you know that, you know, he's not gonna be here. Oh, okay, you know, it is what it is. Like, what else would we expect from him? You know, I just really have been dealing with a lot of toxic things from him, especially his mother. You know, the way Gina was talking at that, you know, at the cenote, and really just talking about, oh, if this, if that, whoever this, whoever that. And what Porsha does is, when she's mad at Dennis but doesn't want to show, like, completely make it about Dennis because she knows what that perception is, she changes that anger or directs that anger to Mama Gina, right? Because how crazy would it make her look to be just constantly talking about Dennis? So now she got to talk about Mama Gina instead. Girl, you still even gave Dennis his goddamn robe back. Okay, I know that was goddamn Dennis' robe when you were being petty boots. Okay, get that nigga his robe back. The fact that you still wearing it too, girl. If I was Simon and I came over to your crib and you had on Dennis' robe, I would feel some motherfucking way. So she sits down and texts Mama Gina, oh, Dennis brought a date. Wow, that's crazy. Before that though, Mama Gina was like, everybody was asking Gina, where your son at? He's like, oh, he out. And they're like, out with who? Like, he coming? He's like, no, he brought a guest. Everyone's like, a guest, like a female guest? She was like, yeah. You know, it's her birthday, so he wanted to take her out for a treat for her birthday. She definitely was just, she was just loving that moment, just spoon feeding everybody the business. She was loving it. And so everybody was like, okay. So she was definitely ready for that moment. She wanted everybody, especially Porsha, to know that Dennis was off doing his thing. You think you're ready to treat my son this way? Psych. They all were just kind of talking about the moment of, like, not trying to cry. So Storm has her moment of just being like, you know, I'm not an emotional person, but I just do want to open about, you know, I previously, you know, used to be in an abusive relationship. I was so unhappy, you know, I didn't know where I was at in life. And Lundy, I'm not gonna lie, this kind of was a weird timing. Like, I get what you were, the topic was, you know, justified, but just a weird timing. Because in the midst of somebody, you know, opening up about abuse, that's not the time to be like, well, you know, the energy you gave me the other day, like, where did that come from? You know, getting up to me talking about what you gonna do. Like, it was a valid question, just maybe wrong timing. So now Storm, of course, pops off. Bitch, you want to use this time to talk about my abuse? Now you want to turn that against me and use that at a time to try to use my abuse to why that has something to do with you? And Lundy was like, no, like, this definitely was a moment of miscommunication and just bad reading the room at that moment. And now here we got everybody, somebody trying to defend Lundy, somebody trying to defend Storm. Portia's on Storm back. Oh, Storm was, if she was in the right, Lundy, why you should have did that? She's like, you need to apologize. She's like, no. She was like, no. So now Lauren and the other girl was over there talking to the side, like, you know, they were talking, and Porsha, but what you talking about? You see Storm is over here talking, And Lauren's like, girl, Porsha, we was trying to figure it out. Like, damn, like Porsha for sure was just fanning the flames, y'all, fanning the flames, throwing gasoline on it. And Simon gave his little, I guess, old man wise advice of, you guys can't hear each other. With his accent, you just need to make sure you're hearing the other person. You're not going to get to a solution if everybody's talking. So Lundy kind of low-key gives, Storm an apology. And says, I'm triggered. And so Storm was like, if I was a trigger, I'm sorry because I don't want nobody to trigger me. So they kind of was able to reset at that moment. And then something happened at the end of the episode where Porsha was talking to Mama Gina, I think, or something. And what did she say? Something happened to Mama Gina, and then that's where the episode ended. I don't know what it was. I forgot, but that's okay because that's the end of the episode. But next week, the preview looked really good, and I'm ready for Lauren to get in Portia's ass. Where Portia's like, I'm fixed, Lauren. Bitch, no, you not, because you're not doing the work. And so I'm so glad Lauren is really putting her foot down with Porsha because she has a group of yes men, and Lauren no longer wants to be a part of that. And I'm glad. I'm proud of her for deciding, like, Porsha, you may be my sister, but you're not going to sit here and neglect me and abuse me because that's what you used to do to other people who are starstruck by the RHOA, Porsha of it all, okay? But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's kind of went a little longer than I expected, but y'all stay tuned. I'm going to try to watch a family reunion of Love and Hip Hop, and I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.